Assalamu alaikum. Today's lesson is a quick recap or summary of Salah Times. This was covered a while back in Salah Book 2. The first Salah is Fajr, which is the early morning prayer. Now Fajr starts from true dawn, which is known as Subh Sadiq, until the sun begins to rise. So a true dawn or Subh Sadiq is when the light first appears on the horizon, and this light is horizontally spreading across the horizon. It's worth mentioning here that there is something known as a full stone. This is when the first light appears, but the light goes vertically upwards, and this is full dawn. So what is the best time to pray Fajr? The best time to pray Fajr is towards the end when it's brighter. Okay, bear in mind, during the Fajr time, it is Makrooh to pray any other Salah other than the Qaza namaz. The sunrise is when the tip of the sun just peeks over the horizon until it's fully risen. To show this on our timeline, our namaz timetable shows the start of sunrise, and this continues for 15 to 20 minutes. These 15 to 20 minutes are a Makrooh time during which no namaz, not even Qaza, can be read. The second namaz we're going to consider is Zuhr. Before we consider the start time, we need to have a look at Noon, Istiwa. This is when the sun is right above our head at its highest point. However, the start time of Zuhr is Zawal. This is just after the sun has passed its Noon or Istiwa time. Okay, so Zuhr starts at Zawal and ends at a second mithal. Now, a second mithal is basically if you have something, say, 1 meter tall and it casts a shadow double its size, and this is the second mithal time. Only thing to bear in mind is that sometimes we have a tiny shadow at noon or istiwa time. So the second mithal is when the shadow is double its size plus any shadow that was at istiwa time. Okay, so that's a sort of the Zohar time from Zawal to second mithal. There is a Makrooh time at istiwa, but istiwa time is not on the timetable, so the easiest way is that the Makrooh time is 5 to 7 minutes before Zohar start time. In other words, 5 to 7 minutes before Zawal time. And during this Makrooh time, there is no optional prayer and there is no Qaza namaz either. Okay, the best time to perform the Zohar Salah is near its start time. Before we go into Asr time, you may want to consider two optional Salah. The first Salah is Ishraq, which is prayed after Makrooh time of sunrise finishes. The second optional or Nafli Salah is Duha, which is sometimes called Chash, is before the Istiwa Makrooh time. So back to Asr time, it begins after Zohar time ends, which is the second mithal, and goes all the way up to close to sunset. What is the best time for Asr? The best time for Asr is towards the end of Asr time. When the tip of the sun touches the horizon until it's fully down, this is actually a Makrooh time during which we can't pray any optional or Qaza namaz. The way we show this on the timeline is a few minutes before Maghrib time starts until Maghrib time. It's worth taking note that during Asr time, no other Salah can be prayed other than Qaza namaz. When the colour of the sun starts to change, then this means that we are approaching sunset. This too is a Makrooh time, so we should pray Asr before this. So the total Makrooh time is about 20 minutes. This leads us nicely to Maghrib Salah. Maghrib starts immediately after sunset until the whiteness on the western horizon goes away. So Maghrib is from after sunset until whiteness in the sky goes away. So what is the best time for Maghrib? The best time for Maghrib is at its start time. Now when the whiteness has gone away, this is time for Isha, and Isha time continues all the way until just before true dawn. The best time to pray Isha is near its start time. This leaves us with two optional prayers to look at. The first is Awwabin, which is prayed after Maghrib prayer until Isha time. The second Salah is Tahajjud, which is prayed towards the end of Isha time. Let's look at a few key facts we should know from this lesson. First, there are 5 Fard prayers: Fajr, Zuhr, Asr, Maghrib, Isha. We should know the preferred time for these Salah. We should know the 4 Nafil Salah: Ishraq, Duha, Awwabin and Tahajjud. We should know the key times during the day, including false dawn, Zawal, and when the whiteness disappears. We should know the 3 Makrooh times when no Salah is allowed. We should know the Makrooh times at Fajr and Asr. And we should also know the Makrooh times at the end of Asr time when the sun begins to become pale.